we are back at the first stop of the 2025 Pro Wakeboard Tour presented by Supra Boats, and we are about to get it going with the Pro Wakeboard Final. Alexis Score and Parks Bonifay coming at you live from Fort Worth, Texas, bringing you all the action today, but it all boils down to this, the main event.
Yeah, Texas be bringing the heat today, man. It was 100 degrees yesterday, but sun's coming out. It's warming up. I can feel the humidity rising. Right on time for the finals. 2 runs. We're in for a nail biter right here, man. But we've actually had some good events so far. The Junior Pro Wake Surf was awesome. The Junior Pro Wakeboard was insane. So it was a fun day so far.
It's been an action-packed day. A little bit of everything. Things have gone super smooth. We're trying to beat the rain here. I think we're gonna get it in, but we're definitely in for it. This is a 6-man final. Now, every rider gets 2 runs, but the difference between the final and the semifinal is that if you fall, you're out.
Yeah, you get 2 runs, so no falls. You get 2 separate runs that have nothing to do with each other. And as well, they get a double up, I believe. So these guys are going to be wanting to not have a fall and get all the way to their double up and put it down. Is that confirmed?
I'm having a look right now. We will have to confirm whether or not they're going to do the double up. And sometimes, as you know, when we're trying to beat the rain, sometimes we exclude that double up. We're going to find out right now. Hey, we've got 6 riders in 5 countries being represented in this final.
Damn.
That is pretty rad.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. You got Maxim Roux from France. You got Cory Teunissen from Australia. Luca Kidd from the UK. And you got Gunther Oka from the States, Shota Tezuka from Japan, and Nick Rapa rounding it out. Last seed, last off the dock from Australia. Man, we are in one. We're in for one right now, man. And Maxim, I just went down and rode with the La Familia crew in Winter Haven at Tyler Himes' new house last week, and Maxim absolutely killed it. He was the first one in the water, went out there and just slayed it, man. Like every trick he does proper, he does perfect. And you know, he's got a deep bag of tricks. I'm really interested, and I think first off the dock is perfect for him. He doesn't have a whole lot of contest knowledge, a whole lot of repetitions in this, so I think like it's almost better for him to be first off the dock, swing for the fence, put a bunch of pressure on the rest of the boys instead of him watching them put pressure on him. I think this is perfect for Maxime, and he's actually my dark horse pick for the finals. On record.
You have been selling him hard. We never picked teams, but you did today, and your money's on Maxime. Let's see what he can do.
You can just see that zero right there, front side 360 into a backside 360, grabbing it the whole way. Super tech trick, one of the most tech tricks we've seen all day. And there it is, dude. You don't get a Mope 5 any better than that. Crazy grab on that. Not sure if it's seatbelt or nuke, but it's one of the two. We'll say seatbelt. Sounds fun.
It does sound fun. You know what else is fun is him just absolutely stomping it. You know, you had a few bobbles in the semifinals, but this finals run looks completely different.
Yeah, man. Hillside 720 into a Crow Mob. You know, we were talking earlier, and it's like and when he was in the semis, he had 2 other guys fall before him, so there's almost no pressure on Maxime in the early round in the semi. So I think that this was just going to have a whole different feel for him.
You did
and
today,
a whole different
and
way
your
of going
money's
about it.
on
And
Maxime.
look at this
Let's
first
see
trick,
what he can
a
do.
front side 360 into a tech trick, one of the most tech tricks we've seen. He's doing 720 degrees of rotation right there, 2 different directions. That's an extremely hard trick, and actually you can do that trick like not that good. You can complete that trick and just not do it that good. He takes a lot of initiative on doing his tricks proper and getting them done, and the judges are going to reward that.
Yeah, you mentioned it in semis. He's very thought out, very thoughtful with all of his tricks. Not only does he want to land them, but he wants to land them well, just like that one right there, Maxime. I see what you're saying now.
Maxime has he has an eye on the prize right now. If he can keep on going, Crow Mob 540. You saw him do one of those the other way. The judges are going to slightly dock him. I think he wanted a Crow Mob 720 possibly right there. He was trying some of those, and that would be the hardest trick. Backside 720. So, you know, a little bit of a room to improvement here for Maxime, but this is exactly a solid first pass and a really good first run that he wants going into the next round. So he knows he left a little bit on the table right there, but you know what? Stand up pass there, and he gets a whole nother run. So we're gonna run through Cory, Luca, Gunther, Shota, Nick, and we're going to get right back up to the top for run number 2, starting with Maxine.
Yeah, let's check out this Roswell replay. That toe 900.
Yeah, toe side 900. Pretty pumped with that. You know, he's that's a good first run to do, because after watching a few of those tricks, I think he's got a little bit of room to improve and a little bit more throttle to kind of squeeze in his next run.
Yeah, it's nice to lay one down, but no, you still got a little bit more in the tank. There's a little bit of room to improve, but you've got a solid run, you know, to make sure that you're competing for the top spot, even with that.
For sure. You know, when you got the whole field of guys underneath you, you know, you got to kind of lay down a good first pass, and that's just enough to put pressure on everyone. Cory Teunissen next off the dock. You usually see him going off the dock last, usually having the highest seed, but so it's going to be interesting to see Cory go off the dock second. You don't really see him go off. Yeah, there we go. You get a double up?
We don't, but this is,
yeah, now we talking.
Confirmed, stand up 2 passes and you get a double up.
Yeah, man, I think it's really important that you make it to the double up. I don't think any rider is going to win this event without completing a double up. So with that being said, I think these guys are going to, not having a fall in the middle of the run, you're not allowed that. You won't, if you fall, you do not get picked up, and you go right back to the dock, and you have to wait for your second run to start. So I think guys are going to prioritize this double up and really put a lot of weight on that, and make sure that they get 2 stand-up runs so they can get a clear look at these waves and rollers converging for a double up. Maxime opting for a right-hand double up. Not sure what it's going to be. Interested to see, man. I haven't really seen Maxime hit too many double ups. He did ride in double or nothing a couple years ago. Switching around, possibly a huge kind of bucked out cab roll right there. Not really happy with the takeoff he got on that, but that's the way a double up goes, baby. Nothing's guaranteed in the world of double ups, and when you're doing it at a contest, sometimes if you get a kick, you have to roll with it. But you know what? He didn't get a fall. Stand up, double up, stand up pass. Not a bad first run for Maxim Roux, and the first rider off the dock here in the finals.
Yeah, and that is our first double up of the day here, and there's so much finesse when it comes to driving that. There's so much that goes into it as far as like the sight layout and just what's going on, but timing has to be perfect. And like you said, you only get 1 shot at the double up, so it's like, you know, bad takeoff, you still got to try to make the most of it, but there was only so much that he could do there as we check it out on the Roswell replay. I mean, he connected pretty well with it. I think he just maybe hesitated on what he was going to throw.
Yeah, it looked like he maybe had a little froth on top, and maybe he didn't. Maybe he did get the kick, but maybe at the bottom of the double up, he didn't think he was going to get the kick. So maybe he pulled the plug on the whole trick before he even got off the top of the wake. Maybe in the air he was regretting the decision, because he did seem like he got over the wake. He didn't case, and he ended up making it over the double up, and he stood up. So score is in for Maxim Roux, 85.0. So
wow.
Like I said, man, that's a pretty solid, decent score for your first run, first rider off a dock. And now he's able to watch everyone else's first pass, first run, and then he can like reorganize his tricks and kind of figure out how he's going to get himself into that top spot.
Yeah, definitely not leaving the door open. I mean, it's open, but a little bit of pressure on these next 5 riders here. I mean, Cory, no stranger to competition. He doesn't care. He's going to go out there and lay down his tricks no matter what happens. He's going to do his game. He's going to do his thing. You know, just kind of a stone cold competitor. But like you said earlier, he's just having fun now. And I think that translates into his riding. Like, he's so confident in his contest riding that he's super comfortable. He knows what he's doing, but enjoying his time and you know, having to go.
Yeah, I think him having fun and just again so many years on tour will allow him to kind of just like maybe find a new rider within himself, because you can only put so much pressure on yourself and kind of chase the same kind of like dragon kind of like every season, you know. So I think he wants to have fun first, and if he wins, he wins. But you know, I like Cory going off the dock second here. Typically he's off last. Really strategic and watch everyone go and kind of go from there. But you know, keep in mind Cory, you know, Cory's Cory's not the young underdog kind of he was, man. As you get older, you know these kids are getting better and better and better, and you know that they're slowly catching up with you. And how long can you prolong the inevitable? And Cory does it longer and better than most, man. He's had 4 overall Pro Tour titles, 4 World Championship titles, so he's a proven veteran, and you know he takes care of his body. He's riding really good, healthy, and I'm excited to see how long Cory's high action kind of pro career can kind of go.
Heck yeah, nothing but blue sky for Cory Teunissen. Let's see what he's got here in his first run of the Pro Wakeboard Final here in Fort Worth.
Heel side 900 right there. Didn't really look like he got a solid grab on that. It's not the biggest deal right now, but the judges will start to add up over tricks. Like maybe if this comes down to who's going to win the event, they're going to analyze those tricks really tight right there. And look, was that the toe 1080? That was just.
Did we just see that? You know, that's one thing that we talked about in the semifinals. You know how important it is to connect on those grabs and land tricks clean, and maybe not as important in the junior finals, but here in the pro men's wakeboard final, it is critical that you are not only grabbing your board but landing tricks clean and doing them like they should be done. And Cory Teunissen really doing that there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're doing if he did a toe 10 in the middle of his run. Give us a replay here, Nick. We go heel 9. Yeah, and I think he came in and. Okay, that was a backside wrap backside 900. A little wobbly on that landing. Judges are going to dock that one, but still, really technical trick there, really hard to do. And a wrap backside 900, a little heavy on the toes there and a little wobbly, but he did not fall. Still coming into his second pass in his first run, and keep in mind, he wants that double up. There's a 3-to-1 wrap frontside 360 into a backside 180. A pretty tough trick there to do, and I haven't really seen Cory do that trick too often, really. There it is, the mute mob 540. Cory, one of his staples of his run. Really hard technical trick to do. Got to be really powerful to kind of get that one around and land it as constantly and consistently as he does. And there it is, the toe side 1080.
Wow.
That's the banger that Cory wanted right there. Damn, it's so crazy to see these guys do that off the wake. Wrap backside 900. Switch toe 1080, double cab roll. Cory Teunissen. Cory Teunissen showing up in the first run, and the second rider off the dock here in the finals, and he gets a whole double up too. He ain't done yet, so damn, a couple big tricks there for Cory. Mute mob 540, toe side 1080, wrap backside 900. Wow, man. So, yeah, I mean, if I was a judge, the only thing I could possibly dock him on is that the wrap backside 900 and the switch toe side 1080 are so similar in the tricks. They're literally just the takeoff is just 180 difference, and you're kind of the rest of that trick feels and seems the same going all the way through. So if you're a judge in the know and it really came down to it, maybe it doesn't make a difference right now, but if this is really technically close to another rider, I think that the diversity in those tricks is something that maybe could start to weigh heavy on Cory.
And that's where, you know, these judges, it really depends on what they're looking for and what they prefer in their personal style. Of course, there are certain things that are a little bit more technical, but when it comes to that, like composition of a run, how much are you switching it up? How similar are your tricks? Is there something that he could have done to show more, you know, diversity amongst his tricks? I don't know, but man.
Well, they like to see, as a judge, you like to see riders spin 2 different directions. That means that, like, it really makes when you're spinning the same way all the time, and maybe he is on the heel mob 540, the switch toe 1080, the wrap back side 900. You know, Cory has a lot of tricks that are all spinning the same way, and it's possible that the judges could probably see that. And, you know, we'll see if Nick or anyone else can see that and maybe kind of like elaborate on that. Maybe if you see Cory do where he's spinning the same way, maybe you take initiative and try to show the judges you're spinning opposite ways, and maybe that could weigh heavy.
And that, of course, is the benefit of, you know, going last, having that last seed, like Nick was saying in his semifinal interviews. You get to watch everyone else, and you can really tailor your run to be what you think it's going to take to win. Obviously, you know, you've only got so many tricks in your bag, but it comes down to those little details here in the finals that are going to get you on the podium or not.
It really does. Game of inches, so they say. Well, I don't think they say that about wakeboarding. Maybe football, but...
We do. We say.
Well, now we do.
We're they, as they say.
We are they.
We are they. Right on. So we saw Maxim Roux stand up 2 passes and get that first double up of the day just before Cory Teunissen. Now Cory standing up his 2 passes and going for his double up. Now these guys are going to get 2 runs. So right now it's like we're going, if you're Cory Teunissen, you're going all out.
Yeah, but at the same time, you know, you already have 2 solid runs, so you want to make sure you do not want to fall on this one, but you still need a decent trick. I think he's going to go, yeah, I think that was solid. Not super hard, but not super easy too. A nice technical double trick. That's exactly what he wanted to build on. I think he was confident that he could make that. That's why I think he elected to go with a double back roll and not do anything too crazy, because it would have been very unfortunate to have that run that he just had and then fall on the double up. So smart run for Cory. 2 stand-up runs, solid double up. We're watching a replay right now. Coming into the trough, clean exit, grabbing stale on that, and really just a textbook double back roll there for Cory Teunissen. But now we're going to throw it down to the dock right now. We got Maxim Roux. Maxim, solid pass. You feel like you left a little bit on the table? Do you have a little bit more room for improvement? I mean, double up aside on your, just talking about your run.
I mean, that run that I just did was probably the best I've ever done. I still have room for improvement. I still have more tricks, but definitely really happy with the run. And the double up, I got a little stitched up.
Yeah,
washed.
Walk us through that double up, because it kind of looked like it was going to wash out, but you still connected at the end. Did you kind of call off the trick before you hit the wake?
Nah, in the wake, like I just couldn't even go for the grab. My board just got away from me. You know what I mean? Like the wash took my board away from me, and I don't think I could have. I don't know.
Were you going for osmosis?
No, just a double cab.
Double cabbie. I like it.
Yeah.
Just a double cabbie.
Just a basic double cabbie, man. Well, dude, I think you still got some. You can do it. You can pull it together. You're my pick for the final, so I'm rooting for you, bud. And let's try to pull it together, that same kind of run, and put together a double up at the end to see where you end up.
Yeah, very stoked. Yeah, let's get it.
Thanks, Maxime.
Let the dogs out.
That's it. That's your guy, Parks. You've got your money on Maxime. I don't know. Cory just laying it down in like classic Cory Teunissen fashion, though. Second off the dock, 2 clean stand-up passes, and then the double roll off the double up. And I don't know. You know, where do we go from here?
I don't know. I mean, would you be any more surprised that Cory did that run first? That's a perfect, typical Cory Teunissen double back roll off the double up. Backside 900, toe side 1080. So Cory already has put pressure on the rest of the field. Rapa last off the dock, and Luca Kidd next off, and then we still got Gunther and Shota. There's some heavy hitters in this. So
score coming in, Cory posting a 94.67, putting him in that top spot in front of Maxime, but it is just getting started, Parks.
Yeah, we're still not even halfway through the first round of the finals, and you know, I'm interested to see. Luca's got such a loose gear on him, man. I feel like he could really. He's capable of anything. He's a loose cannon out there, man. He's got a deep bag of tricks, and he's capable of hitting some bangers off the double up. So if he can put together 2 decent runs and stomp a sick banger off the double up, the whole field's going to be shook, and it'd be a sick place for Luca Kidd to get his first ever Pro Tour victory.
Yeah, I was just going to say the same thing. You know, Luca's so emotional. He wears his emotions on his sleeve. With those first 2 riders standing up their runs, who knows what's going through this kid's head, what he's saying to himself to get himself pumped up, but you know he's absolutely amped. Anything could happen when Luca's on the water.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how easy he goes. Like we had 2, like you said, we have 2 stand-up runs, 2 riders complete, all the way to the double up. So you know that's the bar set. It's just get to the double up and get it complete. Chromo 540 there for Luca to start it off. Starting it off with the easier trick, backside 180, wrapping up into that handle. And there it is, the backside 720. It looked like he could have went 900, but I mean, fell out of that late grab, held the grab all the way down to the water. Judges are gonna like that. Wrapped up, coming in heel side, front side 720. Little nose grab on there. Luca flowing, being Luca right now. There it is.
Okay, Luca.
The Rap Moby Dick 540.
You know the La Familia boys are going wild on the dock right now.
Yeah, boys are psyched, man. It's always good to have your homies and some good camaraderie, kind of like supporting you as you come off and back into the dock. Solid first pass there for Luca. He's got to be pumped with that. Wind is holding off right now. Conditions are looking good. Sun's still out, so anything can happen right now. We're going to get a Roswell replay on the first one. Damn, that late grab on that back seven
I didn't
looked
catch
really
that the
good.
first time. That was dope.
Yeah, really held it all the way down. And more of a technical kind of trick right there. The Rap Moby Dick 540. All right, here we go, Luca. Pass number 2. He is. Coming in handcuffed, toe backside 540. Crazy takeoff on that one. Not your traditional type. Completely blind away from the boat. Coming back in heel side. There's a 3-to-1. Little stale grab after that. 360 into a backside 180. In wakeboarding, you can use that rope to stop your rotation mid-spin. Backside 720. Luca Kidd getting through this second pass. Nothing crazy bombs right now, but there it is. Nice, Luca.
Okay, Luca.
And I could hear him screaming on the water right now through my headphones. Luca Kidd is fired up right now, and this is what I'm talking about. If Luca can put down 2 of these kind of runs, and his bag of tricks on the double up is deep, so he's got a banger. I think he's finished top 3 at double or nothing the last few years, so he's got it, man. If he can put down I'm interested to see how easy or how hard he goes on this double up. Like, does he go hard twice, or does he just go easy and then strategery?
If I'm Luca, I'm going for it right now. I mean, the first 2 guys.
I think so too.
Stand-up runs. Yeah, Maxim maybe didn't connect on his double up. Cory did. I think you have to go all out. This is the finals.
Yeah, I think you got to go for this double up, because I think Luca could do that run again if he wanted to. I don't think that run was that crazy hard for him, to where if he fell on this double up going for the win, that he couldn't go back and do that run to have himself another look at the double up for the win again in round 2.
Well, and you don't want to go, into the next round, everyone stands up, and then you're just feeling like you left a whole lot on the table. And like you said, this is his strength. This is where that style and the double up really is a specialty. So if he can put it down and do something a little different than everyone else here, that's going to be huge.
Yeah, Luca can get it done off of a bunch of different types of double ups, man. I've seen him hit some really crabby ones that are rolled over, wobbly, all over the place, over-teed, open. He can really get tough and bugger down. Let's go, Luca!
Let's go! He is fired up, per the usual. We love his emotion. It's pure.
In his interviews.
And we love his interviews. He's kind of a wild card, but again, it's all about the characters here on tour, and we love this guy.
Yeah, if we had more Lucas, I wouldn't be mad. But if we had too many Lucas, I'd be mad.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's like, can't live with him, can't live without him type thing, for sure.
All right. Luca coming back around as Trevor Hansen drives that super back around, teeing up into that double up. A right hand, opting to go for a right hand double up. Luca typically wraps up his double ups. I'm calling possibly backside 900.
I like it.
And honestly, if he could get a back 9 right here, that would be pretty insane. Gets off clean. Oh, backside the 0, backside 360 into a frontside 360. So not what I saw coming, but I love it. Never, shake it up. Never know what Luca's going to do right there. Make sure I called that trick right when I see this double up replay.
While we tee up that replay, let's send it down to the dock. We've got Cory Teunissen fresh off the water. Cory, not too bad, eh?
Yeah, I mean,
pretty stoked. Like, not perfect, obviously. There was like one little bobble in there on the back nine. Like, I felt like I was in control the whole time, but it just felt like it was deep. And like the boys kind of told me that it was like an ostrich, like almost got my head in the water. So, but hey, I'm like second event in for the year, first event of the PWT. And hey, I've had 2 stand-up passes and 2 finals so far. So like, I'm just trying to keep this momentum going, and let's just freaking see what happens, man. This is like.
Where do you go from here? Do you try to build your run, or do you try to pick a harder double up? Seems like that double up's a pretty tough one, but a consistent one for you. Is there any room on the table to where you can put together a better down and back before your double up, or do you want to improve your double up?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely need to clean up a couple things for sure. And like, there's one thing I've kind of been doing. I hope kind of like tweak my ankle during the week on something this week, so I've kind of been like avoiding doing that. It's not like a game changer, but it kind of just like adds variety to my run. So now that like I've put one down and looking pretty solid for the rest of the final, now I can just kind of go balls to the wall and just clean everything up and really do like the game plan, and really do like exactly what I want to do, and hopefully that puts me in a good spot. So we'll see.
You've got your dad in the stands today. He came all the way from Australia to watch you ride. How fun is that to have him here at the first stop of the Pro Wakeboard Tour?
Yeah, it's epic. Like, it was actually kind of funny how all this came about. So he was gonna come over and just like spend a week in Orlando, and like he loves it over here in the States. And when he booked his flights, he actually didn't even know this event was like coming out until it like the schedule came out like a couple weeks afterwards. So he literally looked at his flight and I was like, bro, like you land on qualifying day. So it was literally like the most perfect timing ever. And he landed yesterday, flew straight from Sydney to Dallas, and he hopped straight in the car and drove here, and he literally got here like 5 minutes before the first rider of the qualifying yesterday. So he's been frothing. He's like the biggest wake dad ever. He loves coming to events and loves hanging out and like catching up with everyone again. So he's frothing. And I mean, for me, like, dude, I struggle being away from home for so long and being away from my family and my partner and everything. So to have a little bit of home,
we absolutely love that, and I'm sure he does as well. Solid first run. We'll see what you got here in the second one.
Thanks, appreciate it. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, Chitty.
Thanks, Cory.
Thanks, guys.
All right, here we got Luca's double up replay right now. Coming in, wrapped up. Yeah, backside 360, front side 360, technically a 0. You're spinning a 360 one way and a 360 the exact opposite way, stopping it mid-flight. You can only pretty much do that on a wakeboard with a wakeboard handle connected to the boat in your hand. So interesting double up right there. Luca Kidd currently in second place. Cory's still on top. Maxim Roux in third. And here we go. Gunther Oka starting it off with a Mute Mode Cry 40 for his first pass here in the finals.
Really case in the wake there. Not exactly how you want to start your finals run, but it doesn't mean he is out. Gunther, again, cool, calm, collected. He knows what he's doing out there. Has all the tricks to win it, but it's got to be perfect.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone's not going to get rattled from having a bad first trick, it's Gunther. He seems very put together out there, very in a good headspace, and it seems like no matter what the variables or anything kind of throws at him, he's able to handle that. And we've seen it behind the boat. We've seen this on cable. He's probably one of arguably the greatest all-around wakeboarders on the planet right now. So for the fact that, he's here at the PWT, putting in his time at this event when they're doing the biggest rail event in pretty much the entire year right now in Germany at LAO, for the fact that he wants to be here and showing up for this event shows, how bad he wants to win and take down one of these Pro Tour stops, man. So here we go, looking at a replay from one of the first tricks, a Pete Rose 540 there for Gunther. He's really the only ones who's kind of doing those tricks. I think we saw one other person do that trick here today, but Gunther with a unique set of tricks that he displays.
That's right, starting his second pass. These guys, 2 passes, you fall, you're done. You're out of there. So you really need to stand up 2 and make it to that double up.
Yeah, very important. You get to the double up and make it to the double up. Like I said, backside 900 there for Gunther Oka. a super technical spin right there. He's going to like that. The judges are going to like that. I know I like that. And there it is, a mute mode 540, getting a huge kick on that all the way to the trough, wrapping back up, wasting no time. Gunther Oka coming in and a wrap KGB 540. It is crazy how easy these guys do these wrap KGB 540s, man. Really impressive. And on to the double up, Gunther goes. He's got to like those 2 passes. Maybe a little bit of a case on his first trick on that Crow 5. But all in all, I think he's really pumped with that. Toe back 7. Back 9, Pete 5, you know, he's got it, man.
Yeah, he really turned it on. His run really progressed from start to finish, getting much more technical, higher in difficulty, and just overall smoother. So really finishing strong. And of course, now he gets the double up. Let's check out this Roswell replay. Yeah, that back 9, so sick.
Got a good grab on that too. Really gonna like that. Coming back in. And that was lofty too, man. That looks so fun to do.
Super floaty.
Gunther Oka. Maybe just slapping that grab, but who really cares? That was pretty nice, man.
We'd love to see it. Now, when these guys are about to hit this double up, are they telling the boat driver, I want it open, I want it closed? Do they have a lot of say in how this is driven?
Yeah, they actually do. He tells Trevor, he goes, I want a left double up or right double up. And yeah, they'll tell him like pretty teed up or pretty open. No one really, with the wakes as big as they are nowadays, you don't really, maybe in the past, in the early days of double up, you could over tee them to get a little bit more kick. But the double ups, the wakes are so big behind that super right now to where they're pretty much saying either teed up. I bet most of them say a little bit open. The last thing you want in a wakeboard contest is to be it too teed up and to have it froth over to where you can't even have a chance of getting the trick done. Kind of what happened to Maxim, you know. You know, if you go just a smidge more open, you can, maybe you don't get the same like kick or like line tension, but you're guaranteed yourself almost a good takeoff, which could be sometimes more valuable than the other variables, you know. So
yeah, and with only one shot at the double up, you kind of have to play it safe as far as how it's driven, and like you said, keeping it open ensures that it's on the cleaner side of things. Of course, no one wants to get hung up on double up.
No, I'm really curious to see what Gunther is going to do here, man. He's capable. He's won my double or nothing event in the past, so he has a bag of tricks, and I feel like he's really good at hitting double ups compared to maybe some of the rest of the field. So what's Gunther Oka going to do here? Opting, it looks like, for a left-hand double up. First rider to do a left-hand double up today.
Like you said, Gunther, you know, his bag of tricks is just so deep. He's so versatile and has hit so many double ups.
Coming in slightly open, opting second roller, and that looked like a little zero, maybe a backside, frontside 360 into a backside 360. I believe we saw a couple other riders do that. Pretty technical trick, maybe not the hardest double up trick that we've seen today, but Gunther is one of the riders who wants to build from his first run, and he'll almost guarantee that he's going to put down a solid run on his first one and then build from there instead of going vice versa.
Yeah, there's a lot of different strategies. Let's check out the Roswell replay here on Gunther's double up.
Yeah, he's not going to be super happy with that one. He kind of missed the grab. Typically when they change rotations on that, they want to be grabbing. So he didn't get the best kick, didn't get the best grab, but he did stand up, hair's dry, double up's made. But now, let's go down to the greatest interviewer on the planet.
No pressure, Luca.
No pressure. I'm just kidding, Luca.
Best hair on tour. What up, Luca?
Hey, what's up, guys? How are you doing?
We're great. How do you feel after that first run? Not too bad, eh?
Well, I'm pretty stoked right now, to be honest.
You should be.
I landed 8 tricks and then stomped a beast of a double up, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then, you know, everyone's ripping right now. We're all on fire. This is going to shape up to be a pretty sick final. I'm just very glad to be a part of it and putting some stuff down, you know.
Oh man, it seems like you got a little bit more. I've seen you do some bangers off the double up and double or nothing. Are you going to try to one up your run or your double up? What room do you have to improve, you think?
I'm probably going to up the run. I did my safe run. I did my safe run, like stuff that I knew I would land with everything I needed, and then I landed my dub, and I was like, if I do that, I'm just gonna go out and one up like 3 or 4 of my tricks from the run, try put down the same dub, and then, you know, hopefully put it up, and then pop up a couple positions, and but, you know, we'll see how she goes. We will see how she goes.
I like it. Yeah, I don't like Luca and safe in the same sentence. I think we need to up the ante, buddy. Let the dogs out.
I like it. I like it safe when I land 8 tricks in a double up. That don't really happen that much to me, does it? Let's be honest.
Fair enough, fair enough. All right, well, we can't wait to see what you throw down in your second pass. Thanks, Luca. Congrats.
Thanks, guys.
Go get it, bud.
I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.
He's got a point.
He's got a point.
All right, Gunther's score coming in. It puts him in third place, 87.33. So Luca's still holding that second spot. That's pretty exciting for him. Love to see him potentially making the podium for sure.
Man, I think the second round of this finals is going to be lit,
Fire.
man. It's going to be crazy. Because we're not, I mean, now we got Shota coming off. We got Nick Rapa next. And then, you know, and it's just getting started. That's just halfway done with the finals. And like Lucas said, everyone is ripping right now. Everyone's laying it down. The boys are fired up. And the wind's backing off. It's really, conditions are perfect. We are in for the setting for an insane final right now. And Shota Tezuka, first run, coming in for his first trick.
That's right, Shota, long time Pro Wakeboard Tour veteran, oldest competitor here on tour. He is no stranger to a finals, but he's not taken the top spot yet, so we'll see what he can throw down.
Yeah, I'm really pulling for Shota to get his first Pro Tour victory, man. I think it'd be important for him to have cork backside or frontside heel side 720 right there, starting it off with a nice nose grab on that chromo. So Shota showing that he's in the zone, he's clean, he's calm, he's collected, he's pulling it together. But Shota knows he needs to squeeze that throttle hard, man. He's had a lot of podiums, but he wants that top dog spot, and he's really got to get over the weight cleaner if you're going to try to get a good spot on top of the podium. Because really, with only 8 tricks in the double up, you don't have room to case that double up or that wake jump right there. So it's like, because that's almost, as a judge, it's almost like a wash. Like, it really takes a lot off of that trick when you do a toe 9 or back 7 or whatever he did there, and kind of just case that hard.
It can be the difference in a finals. I mean, when you've got everyone standing up the run, we're almost 5 riders in and we haven't seen a fall yet, Park. So casing the wake is going to be, you know, that difference maker for first and second and third, getting on the podium.
Yeah, that's a good point. When you're not judging falls, you're judging every trick against each other. How well did he grab it? Did he do what he intended to do? You know, nice mob there for Shota. And, you know, did he get over the wake? Did he land it clean and stuff? So these judges are really dissecting these tricks as much as they can. Pete Rose 540 right there for Shota. Looking a lot different than the other ones we've seen. Shota, super wide stance on that board. Coming in toe side. That was a cool looking toe backside 540. Super corked and loftied out the back. Really like that one. Judges
Little
probably
Aaron
don't like that.
Rappy on it.
Yeah, exactly. Deal. And a front mob 540,
Yeah.
Shota Tezuka,
To
those
the flats.
showing the landing gear on those legs, even with a knee brace on, stomping that front mob 540. And again, Lex, no falls here in the final. Interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting, you know, and that's where we have to start critiquing a little bit tighter and closer, because it's like you said, you're not judging falls, you're really judging how well is this trick executed, amplitude, how clean is it landed, and then style, right? Like, that always comes into play, and that's something that the judges get to decide, but man, would not be an easy job today.
No. Even though I would rather judge trick to trick against each other, as opposed, sometimes it's harder to judge falls against, like, he fell, but then he got up and he did some better tricks, but he had a fall. So it's like, as a judge, it makes it kind of hard to, like, do you judge the tricks that he didn't get with the fall? I just really like this kind of like no fall rule in getting 2 separate runs, because it takes the fall completely out of it. Your run is in the trash can once you fall, period.
Right,
And
definitely.
you're just forced to judge the tricks against each other. And when the guys are doing a handful of the tricks, you got to really appreciate Shota doing a couple different tricks right there. We haven't seen that front mob 540 done by any other rider, so maybe the judges are going to reward that and maybe give them a little something, you know?
Well, and taking it to the flats, most guys are going wake to wake today. We haven't really seen anyone, you know, charge it and go massive. So taking that trick a little bit farther into flats, that's the kind of stuff that the judges are looking for. How are you going to set yourself apart and differentiate from the rest of the guys who are also just absolutely throwing down? But you got to mix it up.
That's a good point. You know, I think anytime you can grab the board a little different, go out into the flats, pick a different diverse trick that not a lot of guys are doing. You know, I used to remember trying to just do some tricks that a lot of the other guys like weren't like trying to do, and as a judge, when I would judge, I would weigh that super heavy. I feel like the people who are doing, most riders almost do like the same handful of tricks. So anytime you can get some outside tricks that they're implementing into their run, I really like that coming from a judge on just like, hey, there's not a lot of guys doing that trick, and it's not because it's easy. It's a tough one to do, but you've opted to go out there, learn it, and apply it into your run.
Definitely, and it sets you apart. You know, you want to be top of mind after those 6 riders. You want to be the guy that stood out in the judges' mind for sure. Shota Tezuka, representing Japan, standing up his 2 passes, but that gets him a double up. He's the 5th rider in the Pro Wakeboard final here at the Pro Wakeboard Tour stop number 1. We're in Fort Worth, Texas, and these finals are absolutely going off.
Yep, Shota, he typically does a heel side 900 almost every year in my tournament, or maybe a heel side 1080, but I'm interested to see, yep, front side 900 and not even close to clearing that wake. You can see Shota went straight up on that double up and tons of vert on that, and from that drone view of BT, he came up about 3 feet short on that one. That was no good. I actually wonder if Shota's all right on that one.
Yeah, that looked like a little bit of an ankle killer. That's our first fall of finals.
The first fall. It's pretty crazy.
5th guy in. We only have 1 rider to go in this first round of the Pro Wakeboard final. Nick Rapa off the dock next. Shota Tezuka just going down on that double up, but standing up his 2 passes as well. It's going to be interesting here. I think everyone's got a little bit of room for improvement, but steep competition after the first 5 riders so far.
Yeah, we're going to watch this replay of Shota's double up, and really goes straight up, grabs it, and just, oh my gosh, dude.
Ouch.
He fell straight to the bottom of the lake on that one. That one did not look good. I hope Shota's all right. But now let's throw it down to Gunther Oka. Gunther, stand-up pass. Looked pretty good, man. He got some room for improvement. Looks like that double up could have been a little bit tighter, a little bit more snipped up and put together. Walk us through some of the good, some of the bad of that first round.
Dude, this final's off its head right now as you saw Shota freaking. I had the same reaction as you. Oh my god! But yeah, man, stoked to put down 9. Definitely some room for improvement coming into that second round. And that's the beauty of the second round, is we can kind of get all of our ducks in a row and then really try to just like smash it out. But the riding right now is unbelievable, and just pumped to be a part of it. But yeah, missing a couple grabs and a couple little things for housekeeping. So
with how you rode in that first run, will you keep most of your tricks the same and just try to clean it up, or are you going to switch it up?
Nah, I got 1 more up my sleeve. I think I'll try to actually 1 or 2. So try to just keep on upping that ante, you know.
Right on. You've always got a couple tricks up your sleeve, and we can't wait to see it. Like you said, finals absolutely going off. Let's see what you can do here in the second round.
Love it. Thank you, guys.
Let's go, Gunther.
I mean, you got to love Gunther. He's professional, put together, super steezy. I mean, he's kind of the full package when it comes to a professional athlete and a wakeboarder. But I know he's got more in the tank for this second run.
Yeah, and I think he knows he does too. I think he's won enough pro events on cable and behind boat to where he knows kind of where he stands. And he probably knows roughly what the guys behind him or in front of him are capable of. So he can kind of see a little bit into the future, I think, of what on the predictability of what some of these guys, how they're riding and what they're going to do in the conditions in front of them right now. You know, I think when they got super good conditions like we have, it's very scary for, you know, guys like Cory could go out there and, you know, even a loose cannon like Maxim. You know, I feel like if I was Nick Rapa or Cory, I would want rough water out there to mess up my opponents. I feel like those guys are really strong riders. really strong, like just through and through. And anytime there's a wind or chop, it seemed like those guys will typically prevail.
Yeah, you know, the conditions do play a role in this. One of those guys you were just talking about, Nick Rapa, he is an absolute competitor, stone cold, means business, wants only the win. Oh, wow.
Whoa.
That is very uncharacteristic of Nick.
Yeah, I was actually just giving him props, and we were just talking about how long it's been since he's fallen on that trick. And I think we might have jinxed him on that one, but
The
Nick,
classic announcer jinx right there.
yeah, we did it. But he almost 5, a little squirreled out, a little slip around, but back into a toe side 900 on that one, and double toe back roll. So Rapa knows that he's got to keep it together. Indy Moby Dick, a little wobbly on the first one. Looks like he kind of just rushed through those last 3 tricks. You know, it seems like we see most guys almost finishing a little bit more towards the end of that pass, and it looks like since he slipped up on that, he just kept his head down and kept on going. But
Yeah, I mean, like I said, just very uncharacteristic of any, you know, bobble or slip up, especially on that trick that we've been talking about since his second final or semifinal run. But him being the competitor that he is, he's not going to let it affect him here in his second pass. We will see what he can do. Last guy off the dock, he knows exactly what he has to do to win.
yeah, I mean, he definitely wants to get his name up on top right now and get it on top of that leaderboard coming into the second round. Toe side 900 right there. Nick's got a big bag of tricks. It's very interesting that not too many people have fallen. You know, I think it really sets the stage for this next round to be like almost a super final. Double tantrum. I believe people called that the temper tantrum back in the day, but making it its appearance here again. Really, one of the harder double flips you're going to see. Back in toe side, a blind Pete invented by Danny Harf. More of a silky kind of rotation on that. The spin rolls right into the actual roll of the trick. And the last trick, it looked like he left a little early on that. A corked backside 7. The way he does that back 7 is one of my favorite. He really corks it out the back. Doesn't do it wrapped. But you know what? It got the better of him on that one. No double up for Nick Rapa. And going down on that corked back 7.
Yeah, he was the last rider in the first round of our Pro Wakeboard final. We've got 6 guys vying for the top spot, but they've got to stand up 2 passes to make it to the double up. Now, through the first 5, we had 5 stand-up runs, 5 double ups. Nick being the first to fall on his last trick, which means he does not get that double up. That's going to make things super interesting.
Yeah, it means he's going to be at the bottom of the pack, not knowing like how he's going to go. So. Man, I just think that now that we have so many guys with no falls and a really good run underneath their belt, I feel like the reins are off, so to speak. The blinders are off. I feel like the boys are going to be seeing red on this round, and they are really, truly going to be going for this as hard as they can.
Yeah, let's check out this Roswell replay, that double tantrum. Like you said, one of the harder double flips that anyone is doing out there.
And you can see it just kicked him straight up on that one. Kind of a weird kick on that for Nick Rapa. But that's going to wrap it up for Rapa on his first run. Here in the finals at the first stop of the PWT. Shota Tezuka down on the dock right now. How you doing, Showtime? How'd that double up feel? You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm feeling still good. And I'm kind of pumped for to be in the final for sure.
Yeah, man, it looks like you could be about a few inches shorter after the landing on that last one. I've never seen anyone case that hard. What do you want to fix in going into the second round here? In the second run, what do you want to trim up, and what do you want to make better besides not being shorter on the double up?
I mean, to be honest, like this final, it's been one of the gnarly. I mean, just even started at the first of the year, and I was 5th off the dock. Everyone crushed it. So. Just to, stick with my game plan on the first run, and I was just going to try to throw everything else on the second run.
Love it, man. Well, good luck coming into the second run here. Everyone's standing up. Everyone's throwing down. Let's go out there and get that first victory. How about that, Shota? Let's get it, baby.
Sounds good. I'll try.
Let's go.
Showtime. Let's do it. Love it, Parks. We're about to get started with our second round of the Pro Wakeboard final here in Fort Worth, Texas. Marine Creek Reservoir. I mean, the conditions are holding out for now. Glassy waters. A little
It's
bit
nice.
of sun, a little bit of overcast. Not too hot. You know, Texas can be a little brutal at times.
It
But
could be a real scorcher. It could be a real scorcher. Yesterday was a real heater, I heard, when they were doing all the qualifying and the boys were setting up the Pro Tour site and stuff. So, but you're right. You know, it's overcasty. It's kind of nice. Not too bright. Wind's laying down. Good little crowd on shore right now. So people are enjoying it. The riders are riding good. And we are straight into the top of the finals again for the second run here in the finals at the first stop of the Pro Wakeboard Tour. And Maxim Roux, man, I think, like you said, he's got a little bit of a room to improve on the double up, but he was super psyched with that first trick. I personally know he has a couple more tricks that he could tie into this, so I'm excited to see how it's gonna go.
yeah, Maxim representing France.
What?
Oh no!
Oh.
Going down on his first.
Dude, was that a Moby Dick 7 that he was going for? Man, that was crazy.
Oh, just
Man, really going for that. I mean, what a good way to start off the run right there. Just going straight up for a Mob 7. Let's watch this replay, make sure I'm calling this right. But yeah, coming off. Yeah, you could argue that's a Moby Dick 7.
That is a Moby Dick 7, but just going down. Maxim out of France, the first rider off the dock in the second round of this Pro Wakeboard final. We've got 5 riders to go. That means Maxim will not make the podium today, but we've got 5 guys left, and literally anything could happen with these next 5 riders.
And I think you're going to see that, Lex. I think like after everyone kind of like having that good stand-up run, I think you're going to see, unfortunately, you might see guys go down early in the run, but they're going to be swinging way harder. They're going to be throttling out way harder. Like they are going to be going for broke on this one, and that's all you really can do. Once you have a good, like for instance, you know, Maxim, he had an 85 going into that second run, so he had plenty of room to just go for it. And you got to leave it all on the table. The worst thing is to get back on the airplane and be like, I should have done that. I should have tried this. Like, leave it all on the table. Feel good about it. Get back in the rental car and be like, I tried my best.
Yeah, and maybe not on the podium, but 85 is still, you know, he still had a solid run and a great way to start this Pro Wakeboard Tour season in a final with a stand-up run, hitting the dub. I mean, he's got something to be proud of, and being one of the younger guys on tour is definitely going to be a force.
You're 100% right. And he's just coming off an injury, you know, maybe a couple, I think it's like a year and a half ago, he just did his ACL. So for the fact that he's got back up on top of that, he's putting in the time, he's riding with La Familia down in Winter Haven, and it shows, man. He's looked so good on the water when I watched him ride the other day. Qualified for the finals here, just off of the podium. How can that not be an overall win in Maxim's mind right now, you know, I feel.
Something to be proud of for sure. Next off the dock, we have our current first place rider, Cory Teunissen. No stranger to competition. Lots of dubs on his belt.
Yep. Cory's capable. And sometimes you just got to jump in the water right there, get the hair wet.
I like a little deep water start. Keep it classic. Cory's dad's in the stands all the way from Australia today. Pretty fun to have him here in attendance. I know Cory's a big family guy, so.
Yeah, he told me, he goes, I didn't know they were doing a live stream. He goes, I came over here because I didn't know they were doing the live stream, and I get here all the way from Australia, and I find out they're doing a live stream. I should have just stayed in Australia. Nah, he's psyched to be here. He's psyched to be here. Man, Cory's got to be psyched that he's on top right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun place to be, right? Going into your second run when you can just kind of let it out on the line, knowing that you don't really have much to lose. Coming off a great first run. We'll see what he changes up, what he keeps the same. But like you said earlier, Cory's just having fun with it now. And we appreciate that. Big smile on his face.
Yep. Hillside, 900 there, starting it off with Cory Teunissen. A lot of spins there, handcuffing up to a wrap trick. And
man.
just loses the handle on the very first handle pass of that wrap back 900. And we're seeing 2 falls early the trend continues. These guys have laid down a solid first run. In the second run, they're just getting maybe, I don't know if they're squeezing a little harder or they're just getting a little complacent, but it seems like we're seeing some big slip-ups from Maxim and Cory as well. And we're going to watch the replay real quick of what went wrong on Cory's back nine. Off the wake, just loses that first or second handle pass, and once you lose one, you lose them all. And that'll wrap it up. Cory's still on top right now, still in the lead here in the finals at the first stop of the PWT. But Lex, we got Maxim down on the dock right now. Maxim, how'd that second pass go? We know you went down, unfortunately, a little early. Was that Moby Dick 7 or back 7?
It was a Moby 7.
Yeah.
First trick, I tried to go all in and I just slipped the front handle. That's unfortunate.
So you had your fingers on it and it just popped it, huh?
Yeah. No, I had the back hand, and when I tried to put the other hand on, that's where I missed it. That sucks.
Unfortunate, but hey, a solid first run coming in with an 85. It's the first Pro Wakeboard Tour stop of the season. Parks and I were talking. We still think you can chalk it up as a win for yourself. Not too shabby.
Yeah. That's good weekend for sure for me, for sure.
Yeah, man, I think you got to look at the positives. You know, it's like you came in first stop. You're just getting off of an injury, just like a year and a half ago. You did your ACL. So the fact that you're back riding, you got on top of the ACL. You're riding with La Familia all the day down there in Winter Haven. And from what I watch you ride down there, you're capable of winning any one of these events, man. And for the fact that you've made it into the final in fourth spot as of right now, that chalk that up as a win. I'm proud of you, and you should be proud of yourself, man.
Yeah, I am sure. Thank you so much.
Cheers. Thanks, Maxime. I mean, like any true competitor, we can tell him we're proud of him, that he did a great job, but you can tell he really wanted to be on the podium.
Sounds good while we have shoes on sitting in a chair.
Exactly. You did great. No, we are truly proud of him. Like you said, he was your horse going into this thing, so I know based on that he's going to be a force and a competitor for the rest of the season for sure. Next off the dock, we've got Luca Kidd, a fan favorite, a wild card. He had a solid first run, and he's just absolutely amping on that, but he's ready to build here in the second round.
Yeah, Luca's so fired up right now. And I feel like when he gets fired up, anytime Luca's got a crowd in front of him, he shows up. I'm telling you, Double or Nothing, Pack Shores there, dude. He gets so fired up. He interacts with the crowd, and anytime I feel like the pressure's on or the event kind of apexes, this is his time to shine. So if he can keep a cool head right here and kind of get into it, I think he can get through his first 3 tricks right here. He's going to get it. And little case there, wobbly. We saw a lot of riders back off that first trick, and maybe Luca should have maybe done that, but he pulled through. Slight case. I don't think the judges are going to attack him too hard for that one. Backside 900. There you go, Luca. Wrap back 9. That's what we saw Cory kind of bobble on. So the fact that Luca did that clean, Cory kind of bobbled, maybe that could be something that puts him ahead of Cory in the judge's mind. Wrap, heel side 900. Really solid grab there for Luca. Luca is flowing. He's in the zone. Keep it going, Luca.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. Damn. Wrap Moby Dick 5. Dude, Luca is on fire right now. I think that he's got 4 more tricks to put down, and then if he can get to the double up, anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Throwing that fist up mid-run. That's what we love about Luca. Mid-run, but I'm going to take a little time to selly.
I like it. Luca's full of emotions, man. And whether he's doing good or doing bad, he's going to be hitting the water or slapping it or throwing up like it's some shakas, man. That was a pretty bolt backside 900 right there. Solid, great view on that hill 9 right there, BT. Love that.
Back-to-back 900s for Luca. Currently in second place. See what he can do. He's really got to turn it on here to beat out Cory Teunissen for that top spot.
That did that handcuff, kind of a wrap, backside toe back 720. Maybe a slight case on that, but I didn't see really any water come up or anything too bad. So, Luca, what does he have? 1 more trick to do, or 2 more?
2 more.
2 more. Whoa, that was kind of crazy. I think he wanted a little bit more right there. Luca wrapping it back up. One more trick before his double up. The wrap KGB 540, putting it down nicely, mate. Yeah, Luca's going to be psyched with that. Maybe one trick he left on the table, but all in all, that's his hair's dry. Riding really good, and Luca seems pretty fired up right now. Although he just looked at the boat, gave a little shrug, so...
He knows that he left a little bit out there, but, I mean, we're kind of splitting hairs right now. You know, we're looking at 2 stand-up passes once again. Check out this replay. So clean.
So clean, man. Looks like a rolled blind. He does it so easy. So nice. Get a little whip out. Take a big, deep breather. Get ready for this double up.
He said he was going to go for the same.
What did he do last time? He did a zero, right?
He did a zero, but like super solid grab.
Right.
Complete stop. You know, one of the best to do it for sure. I don't know. Do you think I don't know.
I'm wondering if he thinks that first run was better than the first run was better than the second run.
That's what I'm thinking. So in that case, then.
If he thinks the first run was better than the second, I think he's going to go for a different double up. As opposed to like if I don't know, I think he would go for a harder double up trick here. But he's already done his backside 900, so he can't really use that. I don't really know what he's going to do wrapped coming in heel side besides doing that zero extremely good. Maybe, I mean, the double up's really big right now. So if he can get into one and really just punch one into the air, which Luca is completely capable of doing, then that zero could possibly get him the dub here right now.
And in the event that, you know, this second run wasn't as strong as his first, he's got nothing to lose. And man, boy, do I love watching a double up when someone's got nothing to lose.
It is nice. That's the beauty of it, man. Anytime you can just leave it down leave everything on the mat and just huck it down. That's what that's all you could hope for, really. And Luca opting to go with a right hand double up. And I believe that was the same direction as he did on the other one. So, yep, Luca wrapped up. Looked like he's going to be coming in heel side.
La Familia on the edge of their seats, baby.
Yeah, you better believe it. Not only that, we see someone down here on the edge of the seats. Yep, the crowd is anticipating this one. Can he get in clean, get into the air? Oh, big boot. Oh! Man, he got a great kick on that one. Almost just too good. The line tension might have been a little too hard coming off that double up, and it just spun him like a yo-yo.
Check the Roswell replay here on Luca's double up. Got absolutely punted, but just a little bit thrown off there in the air. I mean, solid first run. He's still in second place. It's great to see Luca do well, and I'm sure he'll be fired up. But right now, we've got Toonie down on the dock. Cory, you know, maybe not as good as your first run.
Yeah, just slightly off than the first one, for sure.
Well, you know, you got off in that first run with a good start. Sometimes it's all you could do, you know, in the second one. Where'd you go wrong on that, you think?
Dude, honestly, I just blew it. It felt perfect off the wake, and I literally just rushed the header passes. But I don't know, this stuff's hard to do back-to-back twice in a row, so my lungs are gassed.
Right on. Well, that first run still has you on the top spot. You're in a pretty good place right now. What does it mean to you to be back here at the Pro Wakeboard Tour for the what? How many years is this?
I think this is like 11 now. But yeah, I mean, this is sick, you know, like obviously managed to do well last year and took the tour out, and to come into the first event of the year and have like a lot of momentum, put like a solid run down in the first one. Sitting pretty solid, like half the field's gone for their second pass already. I'm still sitting on top. So I guess that's just got to hold out, and I just got to play the waiting game now. I hate this stuff. It's literally the worst.
When you're last off the dock, it's all in your hands. Now it's out of your hands. It's all in everyone else's. So you sit back, keep your fingers crossed, like you said earlier, and Hope for the best, yeah, mate.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I hate the waiting game. I'd rather it like all on my shoulders. I'd rather be like last off the dock and set my own destiny, you know. But I mean, hey, I'm stoked. This has been an epic event, and I've ridden relatively well through the event. So, yeah, I'm stoked, man. This is sick. Oh yeah, stop number 1. Let's go.
We're stoked for you. Hate it or love it, you gotta wait, brother.
Yeah, I know. Let's get this going. Hurry up.
All right, we'll see what happens. But as always, great talking to you, Cory.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. And
go hang with your pops.
Oh yeah.
There you go. Man.
Oh, just a smile on his face. I mean, it helps when you're in the top spot, but it's interesting because, yeah, Cory's used to being one of the last guys off the dock as opposed to being, you know, the second off the dock, so there's nothing he can do about it now but wait and just see what happens.
Yeah, that's interesting, his take on it. He would rather be last off the dock, all the pressure. If he wins, he loses, that's all on him. When he's already done his riding, he's just sitting there with your feet in the grass, and it's completely out of your control, completely out of your hands. That's got to be an empty feeling possibly, you know, as opposed to, you know, putting all the pressure on, and if you win, it's because it's something that you came under pressure and pulled through. But
right, and next off the dock, we've got Gunther. Now, he's in 3rd place right now, which sounds great and all, but he still has 2 riders left, Shota and Nick, so he's kind of got to throw something down, either to take a higher spot or just to solidify that number 3 spot on the podium.
yeah, I mean, if he's in number 3 right now, and you know, and I think we talked to him, he has some room to make up. He has some tricks that he can definitely do, and that's a better start right there. You know, he could definitely capitalize on his double up a little bit more, lock down that grab, get a little bit better kick. He's definitely, this run looks a lot better than the start from his first one. Coming in, Rap. There it is, Pete Rose 540 again, back-to-back Pete 5s. Really cool to see. Getting a lot of loft on this, really taking this time, getting off the wake, and you're seeing just the loftiness on how easy and early he gets these tricks done. Rap, toe, backside 720. Solid pass there for Gunther, exactly what he was looking for.
Wow, like you said, I mean, in the first round, you know, casing a couple, just leaving a lot of room for improvement. Not much there in the second round. I mean, he was getting the amplitude and landing everything so clean. That's the Gunther that we know and love. He's got to be stoked on that, but now he's got to stand up this second pass and hit the double up.
Yeah, he's got a couple more bangers he's got to do in this pass. I think we're going to see a KGB 5. We're going to see maybe a back 9, but and then he's going to go for that double up and try to lock down that 0 probably a little bit better. He really didn't get a good kick, missed the grab on it, kind of really didn't get all the way through the rotations on the 0. The judges really want to see you spin 360 one way, be grabbing it, and then initiate your spin the other way, and they can tell if you shortcut it. So they're going to be looking for that to be done better. And damn, a really nice heel 9 there for Gunther to start off his second pass.
Very, very solid. Gunther Oka sitting in 3rd place.
There it is.
Nice.
Backside 900. Gunther throwing a couple bolts and cables in this thing. The mute mode, I believe he did that 5 on his first pass maybe, but the KGB 540, Gunther back to the double up. You know, I think he feels better about that run right there than his first one. Obviously, he wants to tighten up his double up from his first run, but I think that second run was a 1 up from compared to his first one. So, looking to better that 3rd place position he has right now, as long as he can kind of do this 0 a little bit better than he did in the first round.
Yeah, in a game of inches, as we're calling it, it's about those technicalities and the execution. And although he stood up his first runs, that was executed so much better. I mean, I think he feels better about it. I feel better about it.
Yeah, he should, man. He should. Well, we got 2 more riders off the dock, and then that will conclude the first stop to the Pro Wakeboard Tour here in Fort Worth, Texas, man. All the way to the final. Shota Tezuka and Nick Rapa left, and anything can happen out of these. I'm really pulling for Shota to try to get his first Pro Tour victory. I think that would be, and like we said, like we talked to him, and he left a little bit on the table last year. So I think Shota's going to want to come in pretty fired up for this final, man. We're watching a little bit of a replay from Gunther Oka right now. KGB 540.
Locked in. He's in the zone. One
really is.
final trick, and it's going to be off the double up. We saw that 0 from Gunther in the first round of the finals, but room for improvement. You know, like you said, the execution just wasn't necessarily on point. Could hold that grab a little bit more. And that trick is so hard because you're literally stopping your rotation. You're turning one way, spinning one way, stopping, and then spinning the other way, but you have to get all the way around for those judges to really credit you and reward you.
Yeah, 100%. It's a very tough trick to do, and it's even a harder trick to do right. Like, I mean, that's coming from someone who's never done one.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's one thing to say they're easy, but it's another to say it's hard when you've never done one. So that just goes to show how talented these guys are out here, and just, you know, how stylish and versatile everyone's getting. It's really fun to see people bringing their own flavor and things evolving as wakeboarding grows. And
100%.
And
yeah, you said it right. Because I've tried that. I used to try that back in the day. I used to think of that trick, to do a 360 and then just stop and go the other way. And I would try it, and I think I wasn't trying it wrapped. We were trying to handle pass. It just seemed like impossible to do. So, like, as I started to see these guys start to do the 3-to-1 and then the 0, and, you know, you're seeing a bunch of different ones, like 540 to 360. You're seeing all different types of ones. So it's pretty crazy and refreshing to see how far the sport's come. Enough of that. Gunther Oka, well, we're talking about a 0. That's what he went for. Can he get into this double up and lock it down a little bit better? I think that was a little bit better. I think he got the grab. Yeah, I think he got the grab on that one. So, yeah, Gunther's going to be pumped. It was really kind of hard to tell from that angle, but it definitely looked like he got a better kick and looked like he grabbed that and completed that 0 a lot better than what we talked about on this interview with him a little bit ago.
he's sure stoked. Gunther came into this pass in 3rd place, but there's still 2 top gunners after him, so he has got to be stoked. We'll see where the judges put him after that killer run and great double up. Here we're watching the Roswell replay.
Yeah, that was a lot better. Didn't slip the grab there. Gunther's showing some emotion.
Yeah, baby.
Fired up right now.
Love to see it. All right, Luca Kidd down on the dock. Luca, hey, not a bad day, eh?
No, not at all, actually. I'm pretty stoked. Kind of second pass, like it was off, and then it was on, and then it was off. Like, did the chromo, but then after that I was like, right, might as well go rogue, and then ended up landing the back 9 and the cab 9. And then I was like on, and then I blew the second last trick, and I was like, oh well. But, you know, I'm happy with how the day's gone. It's a lot better than, you know, could have gone a lot worse.
Yeah, you should be pumped, man. What were you going for off the double up right there? So like a backside 7 into like a late grab, maybe, or you just stop right there?
It was gonna be like a back 7 melon front 3, but I just got a weird takeoff and like kind of it was just gonna be a crowd pleaser, really, you know, a little bit of style. But I ended up getting folded, so I guess it was a crowd pleaser because I took a good little crash.
It was indeed very on brand for you, Luca. How stoked are you to come here to the first stop of the Pro Wakeboard Tour and really, you know, do something that you're proud of?
Oh, it's a great way to start the season. Like, obviously, I had a pretty decent season, a couple podiums last year, and haven't been riding that much, like, been pretty busy. So to be able to come here and, like, put a bunch of tricks down that, like, I was a little bit worried about and just, you know, start the season off with a bit of confidence, it's really good. I'm pretty happy right now. I'm stoked.
What's the plans for tonight? You hitting Main Street, or are you flying back to Orlando?
Oh, probably going to have a few bevies in the lounge at the airport.
Yeah, there you go.
You know what it is. So, yeah, me, Sam, and Piff all sit next to each other on the flight back. So, probably play a bit of spoof on the flight back, you know.
Well, I hope you all make it back and you don't get kicked off on your layover. Godspeed.
Yeah, man, we can't confirm it.
Right on, Luca. Always fun chatting. Thanks a lot.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, later, Luca.
Luca, we just had the scores come in. Gunther moving into 2nd place, which pushes Luca down to 3rd again, just by an absolute hair. Can Luca hold on? I don't know, man. We've got Shota Tezuka and Nick Rapa up next. And
the bar's set pretty damn high right now. We just saw the run that Gunther Oka just put down. 0, backside 9, toe back 7, double Pete, Pete 5, 2 Pete 5s. You know, he's laying down so many tricks, and that only got him to second place, which just lets you know how high the bar is set within the judge's mind of where Cory's run stands within him. So Shota and Nick got to be like, all right, well, we're not on the podium right now, not even close, so we got to go. We got to swing for the fence. Nothing to lose, everything to win right now. And I can imagine that. And Cory's run is beatable. I feel, I feel like it does have some really hard tricks in there, but it is, I wouldn't say the door's open, but it's unlocked.
Yeah. There is opportunity here for sure. Shota being an absolute vet, the oldest rider on the Pro Wakeboard Tour. Not showing his age, though. This dude can still blast to the absolute moon, and you're seeing it right now.
That trick before that toe 9, that heel 9 was so corked and out the back. I love that. You never really see any riders do it like that. Tip of the cap for that one. Crazy backside 720, and Shota just goes down. Looks like we've seen a lot of guys leave the wake early on a lot of these tricks. And we just saw it again right there. Backside 7, you leave a little early, and you're just going to come up and you case the wake like that. It's a hard game to play, and really, I found like as I ride on these bigger wakes, it's really hard as a wakeboarder to wait and to get off the wake. The transition is so long to where it just feels like you want to go. Instead of riding up, especially if you're wrapped, you really got to wait till you get off the wake clean. Otherwise, it just spins you straight into it, and you get snookied right off the bat.
Yeah, this is interesting. We've got one rider left. Last event of the day, Pro Wakeboard Final here at the Pro Wakeboard Tour, stop number 1, and things are getting interesting. But let's throw it down to. Well, we're gonna throw it down to Gunther in a second, but first. I need to talk about Nick. He's not used to not being in the top 3 spots going last, right? Like, he's got to go out there and show up, or he's not on the podium.
Yeah, but remember I asked Nick, I go, hey, how much do you prefer to be last off the dock in the finals? He goes, mate, that's what I love to do. If I can be last off the dock, know exactly what everyone did before me, I feel like I have a chance to analyze that and to go from there. So it's always a scary competitor to have last off the dock.
Well, we've got one last rider, but before we throw it down to Nick, we've got Gunther Oka down on the start dock. Gunther sitting in second place. Hey, you were amped on that run. So were we. How'd it feel?
Yeah, I told you I was going to bring a couple little different tricks out there, and that's what I tried to do. So with the P5 and the late grab toe back 7, wishing that score line was bumped a little bit higher. Felt like I gave it my all and did that. Anyway, pumped though. Put down 9. Feeling pretty good.
I agree, man.
Life is good.
I agree, Gunther. You had some tricks that we don't see a lot of riders do. I haven't seen really any P5s. I haven't seen, some of the toe back 7. I feel like you had a lot of diverse tricks in there. Your score could have been a little higher possibly, but that's the way she goes sometimes. But I thought it was really impressive. It was fun to watch you go out there. Better your run. You definitely got into a better double up. Your 0 was a lot better. You locked in the grab. And honestly, it was just cool to see you celebrate and to be that genuinely psyched on your run. That's what it's about.
Yeah, man. No, I was happy to clean up the double up, get a grab on there, and just try to stall it out. I went back, heard your commentary. It was like, could have been a little bit better, and I totally agreed. So, man, good stuff out here at Pro Tour 1. Super pumped. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Gunther. Super fun to watch. Congrats.
All right, so Gunther Oka currently in second right now. Nick Rapa last off the dock. If Nick Rapa comes through, he could possibly push Gunther into third place, but that's going to take a lot from Nick Rapa right now. He's really got to show up. The bar is set extremely high to even get on the podium right now. So Nick Rapa has a lot of work to do, considering how that first run went for him.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anyone that can pull it off under high stress, it's definitely Nick Rapa, true competitor out here. He's stone cold and he's ready to come play. We'll see what he can do. This is the last rider of the day, PB. Let's go.
Here we go. Nick Rapa cutting out nice and wide. Trick number 1. Flipping it around. Coming in heel side. I believe this is going to be the mute mode 540. Stomping that one. We saw him bobble on that in the first run, and I think that's what kind of messed him up. When you bobble on your first trick, it can kind of flush through your head, and you don't really know what's going on from there. But he's in the zone right now. 2 solid clean tricks, and Nick Rapa is off to the races.
Yeah, like you said, coming in off the dock last, he knows exactly what he has to do.
Boom. Damn, that was pretty sick. Indy toe side back roll. We saw Thomas Herman go down on that. Not an easy trick to do. Fluff on top of that one, still getting the kick. Nick came to play this time. Round 2 is not round 1 for Nick. He is ready to go and fired up, man.
Yeah, and if you're Cory Teunissen watching on the dock, you're getting a little nervous right about now. You know, you're like, you know what Nick is capable of doing, and you know he comes to play. So anything could really happen here. But
safe to say he's not meditating. Right now.
Yeah, Cory is watching for sure. Cory's eyes are on the water without a doubt. Let's check this Roswell replay to see some of Nick's first pass.
And that was the one that kind of fluffed over right there, but he still got on top of that. And what a good trick to have to do when the weight kind of like crusts over on you right there. So a really good first pass there for Nick, capable of taking out this event right now. Nothing's off the table. Toe side 900, he's got a little work to do. You know, not grabbing that really good, encasing the way he did, that's really going to weigh on the judges. And I feel he knows that, and he's got to squeeze that harder, extra hard right now. Clean double tantrum right there. I love that. Damn, that's a hard double trick to do. I hope the judges like give him credit for that, because there's a reason why you don't see the riders doing a double tantrum.
Yep, he's the only one doing that trick out there, which is why he is capable of taking the win, Parks. It's going to be super close.
It is. Can he get that one? That's what he went down to. Yeah. He did make it a little bit of a butt check, a little bit of a butt, like a froth case the wake on the toe 9. So I'm curious to see what he's going to do off the double up, but I'm also curious to see what these judges, how they're going to judge that slight case on the 9 and that little bit of a bobble on that corked back 7.
Yeah, and we just saw Cory Teunissen and his dad, eyes on the water, scoping out, hey man, I mean, anything could happen.
Well, Cory had a wobble. Cory did a back 9, and he actually wobbled on his back 9. So Cory didn't have like so much of a flawless run either. So I think Cory is slightly beatable in some way too, depending on how the judges see it. So Cory's double back roll off the double up was huge. That was clutch. I'm really curious to see what Nick's going to do off the double up. He's made double tantrum to blinds. He's he can do. He has a big bag of tricks. So what will Nick Rapa do to try to get the victory, or does he just go for the podium? You know, Nick's a smart rider. Is he going overall Pro Tour title? Is that where his head's at right now? Does he need to fall on this double up, going for to take out Cory, when he could just get a third, possibly a second, and be right on the heels of Cory with only 3 stops left to go?
Well, that's what makes it interesting. You know, everyone's got a different strategy and different goals, and coming in not, you know, for his last run of the day and not being on the podium, what are his goals right now? Is he just trying to, you know, set it up to be on the podium, or does he want that W? I think he's going to go for the win, Parks.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get outside of what he's capable in his trick. Nick is going to stay within his bubble, and I don't think he's going to go for a trick that he lands 30% of the time right now. I don't think it's that important for him to win this event, going for the jugular on a trick that he's probably wouldn't need to win, but he possibly can only land this 30% of the time. I think he's going for like a trick that's probably he can make like 70% of the time and possibly just try to get to that 3rd spot, maybe take out Gunther. And who knows? You never know the judging too. He could win. So anything could happen right now. I'm really curious to see like what his trick selection is going to be. I assume that he's going to do something that he's probably going to make.
Yeah, you know, I think that's a fair assumption, but we're talking about Nick Rapa. So something that he typically makes, that could be a lot of things, and with high difficulty, great amplitude, and always pretty stellar execution. So anything could happen right now. This is the last wake hit of the day of the first Pro Wakeboard Tour stop. Let's see what Nick Rapa can do here on this double up.
And he's typically a little better off the wake. Double ups are not his capital, not his strong suit. Not to say you can't hit him and get him done. And there he goes, and a double cab roll, just slipping out, a 180 slip out on the double up of the last trick of the finals. The judges are going to see that. He still throws up the strong arm. And you know what? It wasn't a fall. It was a make. Was it the best trick that he possibly could have done right there? No, but you know, he's still a solid one, a run, really good run there compared to his first run.
Yeah, so much amplitude, and there's so much difficulty in his run. It's tough to know. We're checking out the Roswell replay right now. Like you said, not the cleanest landing, not exactly what he wanted, but still 2 stand-up passes and a double-up. I don't know, Parks.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to get him over Luca. I still think Luca is probably going to have that 3rd spot on the podium. I'm not a judge. I just have headphones on and call it as I see it shooting from the hip. Super unofficial.
Nick Rapa, you've got a smile on your face. How do you feel after that second run?
Yeah, definitely stoked after the second one as opposed to the first. Unfortunate fall at the end of my second pass in the first run. Definitely just kind of had to sit, take a deep breath and a bit of a step back, let it all unfold, and stoked to put a full run down for the second one.
What's running through your head when you're coming last off the dock but not on the podium yet? Are you feeling the pressure? Is it getting to your head, or is that just where you thrive?
I mean, in theory, yeah, I should be feeling all them things. Truth is, I think I've done my best work when I've been, pushed into a corner and I've had the door kind of just barely cracked open. So I'm no stranger to that feeling, and yeah, I'm just happy to put a run together and happy to be in the finals.
When you're not on the podium coming in like last off the dock, how much of you are thinking just get on the podium, or do you think that double cab roll was going to get you the win over Cory? I just was interested to see, because I mean, going for podium in the first stop, it's not a bad call either when you can be slightly behind on everyone too. So you're a pretty good competitor and super smart and rational. I just kind of wanted to see, are you picking a trick that you land 70% of the time to get a second or a third, or are you doing a 30% trick to go for the victory?
Yeah, I mean, there's honestly a lot of different aspects that I try and look at and I try and map out and plan in my head. Truth is, I feel when I do my run and I do it the way that I typically do it, it becomes a run that's pretty hard to beat, or a very competitive run as well. So I went out there with a run in mind, a run that I've been working on that I know is most definitely on most days a podium, if not a winning run. And after kind of leaving myself pushed into a corner after the first run, it was just the plan to try and stick that run. So I'm happy I've done that.
Right on. Well, it is always a treat to watch you ride. We'll see what the judges think of your run when we get back from this break. Thank you so much, Nick.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, brother.
A great day of action here at the first stop of the 2025 Pro Wakeboard Tour presented by Super Boats here in Fort Worth. We crowned some winners, Jet Lambert taking the top spot in Pro Wake Surf, Jet Gibson taking the Junior Pro Final, and then veteran Cory Teunissen taking the W in the Pro Wakeboard Final. Absolutely jam-packed. For Alexa Score and my partner Parks Bonifay, we will catch you at the next stop in Ackworth, Georgia. Stop number 2 of the 2025 Pro Wakeboard Tour. We'll see you there.